The 5 best budget laptops. Budget laptops often come with barebone specs, minimal drive space, memory, and slow processors. You won't be able to use them to run graphically intensive games, but for giving your kids access to the web, sending a teen off to college, or for you to stay up to date with your family, a budget laptop could be an ideal purchase. Our top pick is the Acer Swift X, available at Amazon for $957.27, which we love for its near 13 hours of battery life, speedy processor, and thin and lightweight chassis. It holds the top spot in most of our other laptop guides too. We tested a mix of Windows laptops, MacBooks, and Chromebooks to find the best budget laptops for under $1,000 and under $500. Number 5. HP Envy X360 15.6. The HP Envy X360 15.6 is a great budget-friendly option for anyone who needs the flexibility of a 2-in-1 laptop. Its large, springy keys are perfect for working on papers or reports late into the night, even though you swore you wouldn't procrastinate. The trackpad is equally well made and responds to light taps and complex, multi-touch gestures quickly and accurately. The configuration we reviewed with an AMD Ryzen 5 5625U is getting harder to find, but you can grab a more powerful version from HP with an AMD Ryzen 5 7530U for $900. If you can find the 5625U, know that the processor is no slouch when it comes to performance. Among all of our benchmarking data, this HP Envy X360 15.6 is one of the top performing sub-$1,000 laptops. Thanks in part to the power-efficient processor, this laptop's battery life is also great despite its small size. The 51 watt-hour battery can hold a charge for over 8 hours, an entire day's worth of work, and then some. We do wish HP took it easy on the bloatware, as we removed upwards of 15 pre-installed programs offering everything from free antivirus software trials to cloud storage. Read our full review of the HP Envy X360 15.6. Number 4. HP Victus 16. The HP Victus 16 is no sloth, and it looks a little stylish to boot. Even paired with an older 11th gen Intel, the RTX 3060 can still take advantage of this gaming laptop's 144Hz display. You won't be able to play something like Red Dead Redemption 2 at max settings, but if you can live with between 70 and 90 frames per second FPS on a game like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Victus will serve you well. It's also a good productivity laptop with a springy keyboard and a smooth trackpad. Its multiple USB-C ports, USB-A ports, and an HDMI 2.1 port make it adaptable for almost any computing situation. The Victus can also last over 7 hours on a single charge if you're browsing the web. That puts it in the top 10 out of every gaming laptop we've ever tested, from budget to high-end. The downside is this exact model is getting harder to find. The model linked at the end of this blurb has 16 GB of RAM instead of 8 GB. The extra RAM puts it over $1,000, but it's well worth it if you have the wiggle room in your budget. If you don't, we recommend either of these equivalent models, a 15.6-inch display with an AMD Ryzen 7 5800H, RTX 3050 Ti, and 16 GB of RAM for $890, or this other 15.6-inch display with an Intel Core i5-12500H, RTX 3050, and 20 GB of RAM for $889. Read our full review of the HP Victus 16. Number 3. Apple MacBook Air. With nearly 12 hours of battery life, a powerful processor, and an incredibly smooth trackpad, It should be no surprise that the Apple MacBook Air M1 continues to be our best pick for students working within a tight budget. Compared to the mid-2020 MacBook Air, the M1 version is almost identical. The only changes are the switch from Intel to the Apple-made M1 processors and the total lack of fans. Apple's M1 chip even outperforms most of the laptops with Intel or AMD chips on this list, too. It also comes with the same aluminum chassis and Retina screen we loved in the earlier Intel MacBook Air. We expected the MacBook Air M1 to have much less battery life than Apple's claimed 15 hours. But even though we put this laptop through our usual, mildly strenuous battery test, its battery kept up for almost 12 hours. This is also the year Apple went back to its scissor keyboard switches and finally ditched its not nearly as good butterfly switches. We can't imagine anyone not falling in love with the Apple MacBook Air M1, especially if you are looking for a laptop that will last you through high school or college. Read our full review of the Apple MacBook Air M1. Number 2. Acer Aspire 5. The Acer Aspire 5 packs a lot of value into a small price tag. Its sleek profile and mid-range processor are ready to take on basic productivity tasks at home, work, and school. While its build quality isn't as nice as pricier laptops, it has almost as much power. This machine is great for writing papers, making Cricut-cutting machine designs, or checking emails. Should you take it with you to your office or a coffee shop, you can squeeze a little over 6 hours of battery life out of the Aspire 5 before you'll need to run to a power outlet. It also boasts a surprising number of ports, including USB-A, USB-C, Ethernet, and HDMI ports. Of course, there are some drawbacks in the interest of keeping prices low. Its display is mediocre, with dull colors and some light blooming. Meanwhile, the mostly plastic chassis flexes under moderate pressure and may not stand up to rough treatment. The keyboard and trackpad are usable, although the keycaps have a gritty texture that's off-putting. But it's a machine that can keep kicking for a few years if you treat it well. A spare storage bay inside lets you upgrade the storage later for future-proofing, which we see less often in modern laptops. Read our full review of the Acer Aspire 5. Number 1. Acer Swift X. Acer's Swift X is an outstanding option for those who prioritize speed and price over extra features and looks. That doesn't mean it's not a nice-looking laptop, just that it comes with a standard 1080p IPS display, a 720p webcam, and an okay amount of storage if you plan on gaming occasionally with it. One of the things we like most about this laptop is the battery life, which topped out at 9 hours and 25 minutes in our battery test. This is, in part, due to the laptop automatically switching to its integrated graphics when you perform light tasks like web browsing or sending emails. The discrete graphics card kicks in when you perform intensive tasks, like gaming or encoding a long 4K video. Speaking of gaming, the Swift X falls in the same price range as budget gaming laptops, but the graphics card power draw is capped, so it won't perform as fast as an actual gaming laptop. But you can hit 60 frames per second in most high-fidelity games if you tweak the in-game graphics settings just right. Our biggest complaints about the Swift X have to do with its aesthetics and fan noise. It looks like a budget laptop thanks to the mismatched color tones on the chassis and keyboard, and the fan is too loud even when the laptop is idling. However, for a $1,000 laptop, there are going to be some lackluster features, and at least Acer decided to make those cuts to areas that don't matter as much as performance. It's still a value-filled, multi-purpose laptop for everything else it offers. Read our full review of the Acer Swift X.